I've been better. I've been better, guys. What about you two?
Yeah, no, just shell shocked, mate. To be honest, absolute. You know, it's just. I kept saying it in the watch along, but the thing that really surprised me and angered me the most is that after, you know, they went 3-2 up with half an hour left, so at least we had a chance to do something, and they just did fuck all.
Unfortunately, that second half, Tottenham did what Tottenham do. Unfortunately, listen, that second half is just unacceptable. As a Spurs fan, there's 11 players wearing that badge. From a manager's level, it was just totally. And you know what? With 5 wins out of 5, obviously Johnson making it 6 and 6. You couldn't see it coming. You couldn't see it coming. I thought, you know what? We've got this game well and truly in control. Hopefully, this will be a nice, simple second half. Maybe get an early goal and just put it all to bed. My God, it could have been further from the truth.
Yeah, and I don't think it's the first time that Spurs have shown a real inability to deal with adversity. And can you put that down to, we were just talking about it, but can you put that down to the fact that, you know, we're excited about this young, hungry squad, but they don't have the experience to get themselves out of these moments where things start to hurt?
Yeah, listen, we are a young squad, but we don't have a young manager. And today, unfortunately, he has to take a lion's share of the responsibility, because I'm sure you two doing the watch along, the people watching, everyone in the pubs, everyone at the ground could see a 2-0. We were under threat. A 2-1, nothing was changing. A 2-2, then 3-2 down. The manager can see these things and should be able to make changes. He froze. He froze. We bottled it. And it's just, and just got to take responsibility. I will give him all the praise in the world for when we're playing brilliant attacking football. It's all going right. The subs should have been made earlier, a lot earlier. Some players had some very poor performances today.
Do you think? So you said he froze. I think that's really interesting because there is definitely an argument for that. But do you? I was just saying during the watch along. Do you think there's an element of him going, "You lot got us into this mess. You're going to be the ones to get us out of it," which I'm not saying is the right thing to do, but you know, do you think that's his stubbornness being like, you know, if you don't show me here that you can get yourself out of this mess, then I'm going to learn more about you going forward?
You know what it is, Barnaby? You look at it, and you were mentioning some of the comments he said. I've seen one where he said, we lacked on the non-negotiables. We lacked on the intensity. Well, if you're lacking in it, change it. Change it. Don't say, well, you got us into it, you get us out of it. If you're saying these words, then bring on players that will challenge to win said non-negotiables. The leaders that were on the pitch didn't lead.
Yeah, we're just.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We were just struck. There's a big delay. That's the problem. But Brian, keep going, mate.
I'll come back. I'll come back. Well, before I had 2-1. I actually thought Bentancur overall was having a very poor game, period. So Bentancur for Basuma would have been 1. Yeah. I actually thought when I came on the fans after Europe, I'd start Werner, but give him a lot more minutes, Mikey Moore, a lot more minutes in the second half. So he would have been 2. And the other one I would have done probably at 2-2. Destiny was having a torrid time. That's what Jed Spencer's there for. He came on when Udogie wasn't, and maybe Udogie wasn't fully fit to play this game in the first place.
Yeah, I agree.
We all heard that he was going to be okay. Well, he didn't look it, did he? And that's what Spencer's there for. So those are 3 I would have done, Luke. But you've got to remember, this has been a Spurs problem for a long, long time. A long, long time. It's always reactive rather than proactive. But the players today, just like Sam was saying before, like you were probably saying on the watch long, a lot of accountability needs to go to them. Surely a 2-1, you start running the troops, say, right, guys, don't let this slip, don't let this happen. We just let them breeze through us. But fair play to Brighton. The manager saw the difficulties, made the changes, and he's got the 3 points.
Yeah.
I wonder. This is a problem. I think this is like one of the problems with when Ange says, you know, we have one way of playing, and if we're not playing well, we have to play better. The only way to do this is to play better. Is, you know, I mentioned it earlier. Clearly, we played against a 32-year-old manager there who tweaked something at half-time tactically, and then Ange kind of basically didn't have anything to tweak to counteract it, right?
Yeah, do you know what? Like I said, I'm not changing my stance on Ange. I haven't changed my stance on a manager. But it's performances like this and not being able to react and see things unfolding where you can see why people do feel the way they do. Why there is heat that comes his way. Like the comments you were just reading. Some of the stuff he says makes sense, but then some of the stuff is like, well, if you saw it and you can speak about it, why didn't you act on it?
Yeah.
That's the concerning thing. It really is. I don't know if you guys have spoken about it. First off, I heard Sam just talk about it. I think Maddison was extremely poor today. Started off well, got his goal, and after that, just non-existent.
Well, I saw in my peripheral vision on the TV over there that Maddison did the Sky interview, so I'm trying to find out what he said actually. But it's interesting that they sent him out. You know, he got his goal. The thing I'd say about Madders is, in situations like that, you need players who are going to put their foot on the ball and take the sting out. And we had nobody willing to do that. And you really would look at someone like Madders. You'd want Romero to be doing that at the back. And that is probably where I would agree with you. And he should have, you know, stepped up a bit more there and used his experience.
It's just, and Joe, I also noticed, well, after all these subs came in, we started putting early balls into the box. The whole second half, we're passing it around, taking our time, passing it back, made a couple of subs straight away, early balls coming in. I can't explain just how poor it was from that first half to that second half. It was night and day, oil and water. Just unacceptable from everyone concerned at Spurs. It really was a shit show of a second half.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Brian. You're not wrong, mate. Listen, thanks for calling in. But before you go, you know, apart from these 2 weeks, is there a way that we can bounce back quickly and get back on the kind of winning train? Is it West Ham next? Is that who we got next?
Yeah.
Yep. What a way to do it, eh? It's either going to go one way or the other. If we win, everyone will be okay. Thank God we move on, we build. If we don't do well there, then the whole thing starts up again. But they've got 2 weeks. This is reasons like this. I'm happy Maddison isn't in the England team. Stay at home. Stay with the squad. Get your training in. Get your mind focused on Tottenham. Yeah. And hopefully they'll come back bouncing, because that performance was unacceptable, and they need to sort that out quickly.
I think I'm right. I think we've got something like 5 of our next 6 games are at home, and the other one is at Palace, I think. Is that
something
right?
Like that.
I'm just looking
something
for
like that.
positives,
AZ Alkmaar, Man City in the cup. Yeah. Mate, today, unfortunately, the only positive to take is Brennan Johnson, once again, 6 in 6. The man is on fire. Yeah. A brilliantly taken goal. For me, that is the one positive, that Brennan has shut people up again by scoring again. It was a wonderfully taken goal.
That winds me up as well, because we never fucking got him another chance in the box the rest of the game. We never tried to find him.
Yeah, well, apart from that one where he blazed over, but that was of his own making. But we found his strength and we failed to utilise it.